Are your nails breaking off? You're losing your hair? You're cramping in the middle of the night or just randomly? You've got body aches and pains with no explanation of why? Well, let's talk about why you're having some of these symptoms that are signs of nutrient deficiencies. Welcome if you're new to the channel. I'm Dr. 𝐤𝐤𝐤, and we're talking everything here about how to stay well as natural as possible. If that sounds good to you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and join our free VIP group where we talk about some other things that we can't share here on YouTube. How do I know that a patient has certain nutrient deficiencies even before we do any blood work? There's some things that are very, very unique and specific that once the patient presents with them, we're like, yep, that's probably going on. Let's check blood work to confirm it. Or sometimes we just empirically treat it and see if those symptoms go away. So the first one I'm going to talk about today is cramping. So some of you call it Charlie horses, we give it all kinds of names, but it is this tightness that we feel in our muscle that can come and go, and for some can be debilitating, very, very painful, wakes you up from sleep. It can happen while you're playing sports, anytime of the day, doesn't matter. Most people know when they get cramps that the first thing they need to do is hydrate, right? Because we know that muscles that are not well hydrated will cramp, and especially if it is during a physical activity, we do see this cramping also happening because of the buildup of lactic acid. But the nutrient that we most likely find that's missing or low is magnesium, sometimes potassium, okay? So these nutrients, of course, we find in lots of good food, healthy vegetables, and some meats, and we can get them just by eating plenty of those things. But when we're really, really active and we're pouring out a lot of sweat through the skin, we sometimes lose some of these elements because of sweat, and we need to replace them even more than we would normally have done if we were not involved in those activities. So it is very important that we hydrate, but sometimes we need to also add some electrolytes, right, to our drinks so that we can really replenish what we've lost through sweat, okay? So magnesium, potassium, those are some of the things that we sometimes see. So some of that you can get from eating a banana, especially potassium. Magnesium, if you're going to replace magnesium, it is recommended that you pick the right kind of magnesium, okay? What do I mean by that? If you go to the shelves on most grocery stores, you're going to see different kinds of magnesium. You see magnesium citrate, magnesium threonate, magnesium glycinate, and there are differences in these magnesiums and what they are specifically used for. So for example, we use magnesium citrate if we want someone to have a nice bowel movement, right? But I'm not going to give that to someone that I'm trying to help prevent cramps. I would rather use magnesium glycinate in that case because that one is more specific towards the muscle, right? And I wouldn't use magnesium threonate because that's more for the brain. So the type of magnesium we pick for what issue is also very important. And how much magnesium to take? Most patients somewhere between 400 milligram to 500 milligram of magnesium glycinate is going to be very helpful for this. And because magnesium does help to relax the muscle, we do recommend that patients take those at bedtime. So it can help you relax, get a better night's sleep, rather than during the day, maybe it might make you feel a little bit tired, okay? So magnesium can be one of the nutrient deficiencies we see in someone that's cramping. What about someone that's kind of just losing their hair or their nails are just breaking? Like a lot of women will come to my practice and say, yeah, I have very weak nails. They just break all the time. And they'll just put, acrylic over it and paint it and just move on. Well, that's actually a sign that there's something going on nutrient-wise, right? Because think about it. The same protein is needed to grow your hair and your nails, okay? We call that keratin. So when I'm seeing this breakage in your hair and your nails, well, that's telling me that you're missing some of the nutrients that you need to make this protein called keratin, right? And the biggest ones that we see is the B family of vitamins we call biotin. And in fact, this is well known and well researched that even at the grocery store, at your health food store, you can find this vitamin labeled as hair, skin, and nails. Because yes, keratin is going to need these B vitamins to help you grow healthy, strong nails and healthy, thick, voluminous hair. So, very important that you're taking B vitamins to help you supplement that. If you are noticing that your nails are breaking, you're losing your eyebrows, you're losing your hair, definitely improve the amount of B vitamins that you're taking. The good thing about B vitamins is they are non-toxic in the sense that they are water-soluble vitamins. Even if you use a little bit too much of them, your body will just flush it out through your urine. So if you're in doubt, take a little bit more B vitamins to try to help you with those problems. Every now and then I'll find someone that the B vitamin is not the problem. That the nail is actually breaking because of some underlying fungal infection, okay? So every now and then there's that person I really have to educate about looking for signs that candida might be the problem, where the nails are not just breaking, they actually have signs of, a lot of people do know what athlete's foot look like, right? So you start to see some of those signs in your fingernails as well, so, white streaks, and the thickness yet not strong nails that breaks off easily. So we start to see that and signs of that in your nail beds. We know that we have to treat the yeast in your body, and some of that is dietary. We have to cut down the sugars that you're eating to help control the candida, but sometimes it requires that we actually treat it either with a laser or we treat it with medication or herbs. Okay, so very important for the nails if it's breaking, that if it's B vitamins are not correcting it, it might be time to go see the doctor and talk about possibility of a underlying candida infection. So the other thing I want to talk about as far as symptoms when you start feeling joint aches and pains. So a nutrient deficiency that we see with just joint aches and pains all over the body is vitamin D. So vitamin D is a very, very important vitamin, but it's not just a vitamin, it's also a hormone. So vitamin D3 is what our body uses to help with, building bone. A lot of us know vitamin D4, its work in helping our body absorb calcium and giving us strong bone. But vitamin D is also very important when it comes to just achiness in the joints. A lot of patients are surprised when we check their vitamin D level and we start repleting it that, oh my God, like all those aches and pains I was feeling is actually dissipating. They never made the connection that it was from the vitamin D deficiency. And they've been told in the past that they had vitamin D deficiency and they just took the vitamin for a little bit and then got off of it again and forgot about it again. But then when they get back to taking it, notice like, wow, yes, it is actually one of the reasons why I've been having these aches and pains. So very important thing to think about when you're noticing like, okay, I haven't done anything that should be causing me aches and pains. Why am I sore here, achy there? Maybe it's time for us to look at your vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is not like vitamin B where you can just start taking any amount. It's very important that we know your level. Where are you when it comes to blood work for your vitamin D? We have to know where you are to be able to recommend how much to take to bring you to an optimal range, right? And an optimal range right now, somewhere between 50 to like 80, 90 nanograms. So we really have to look at your blood work, see where you are, and try to recommend. Some people need 1,000 units, international units daily. Some people need 20,000 units, international units daily. So, and all these levels also matter because some we have to prescribe prescription strength vitamin D. Some can just take over-the-counter vitamin D, right? So based on your blood level, we can definitely make that determination. But I do encourage you to try to at least let your doctor check your levels. And if you have been told in the past, call your doctor, ask how much vitamin D do I need to take and how long should I take it for? When do I come back to repeat my blood work so that we can definitely get this fixed. So those are some simple signs and symptoms that we see that helps us know that a patient might be deficient in certain nutrients. I know we already talked about vitamin B, but also with vitamin B, we find some patients with symptoms like what we call peripheral neuropathy, where they're starting to have what we call pins and needles and things like that. They're feeling like numbness, tingling in their hands and feet. Especially we see this in diabetics, but we can see it in non-diabetics, okay? So that's another sign and symptom that can sometimes let us know that you might be deficient in your B vitamins, okay? So again, more reasons to take the B vitamins, more reasons to take your D, reasons to take your magnesium and potassium as well. So I'll leave it at those for now. We are going to talk about more nutrient deficiencies in other videos that are coming up. If you have any questions about the ones I've said, please make a comment in the section below. I'll see you on the next one.